outrageous predictions before what will probably be the most outrageous game experience of this season for sure, and maybe in the long history of the Ohio State-Michigan series. Ohio State going up to Michigan to play the game. We are about to head up to Ann Arbor. They're going to be heading later today. Better accommodations probably. Stephen, what is your outrageous prediction for this massive Big Ten East deciding possible playoff eliminator, likely playoff eliminator between these two rivals?
TreVeyon Henderson, 30 touches, 250 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And it just seemed, and that's at touches, so that's not just carries, that's catches as well and carries. And the reason I came up, I was thinking about this anyway, and then I went and looked up, is this like a normal thing that happens when Ohio State goes to Ann Arbor, that the running back just kind of goes off because they just ask him to carry the team? J.K. Dobbins, 30-plus carries, 200-plus yards in 2019 and 2015. Ezekiel Elliott, 30-plus carries, 200-plus yards. Beanie Wells in 2007, 29 carries, 200-plus yards. Carlos Hyde in 2013, 30-plus touches, 200-plus yards. This is normal. When they go to Ann Arbor, they just rely on the running back in every way possible, whether that's checkdowns in the passing game, just getting them involved in the passing game in general, but then also feeding them. And the way they talked about TreVeyon Henderson leading into the season, combined with the way he's looked the second half of the season since getting fully healthy, I think this is the game for why they've been talking about TreVeyon Henderson the way they have, because this is the moment where you want TreVeyon Henderson to be the best version of himself. So it's a combination of, it might just be a weird weather day, but also history tells us that Ohio State, when they go to Ann Arbor, relies heavily on their running back to get involved. So TreVeyon Henderson, 30-plus carries, at least 30-plus touches, at least 250 total yards and 2 touchdowns.
Touches being the operative word there because he has been used so much more in the passing game. One of the exceptions to that trend you're talking about, though, was 2021. He was a true freshman. He wasn't fully healthy. I think he's probably pretty geared up for this game. Andrew, what is your outrageous prediction?
Emeka goes for 150 and 2 scores. I think this is a big Emeka game. When you talk about Emeka Egbuka, like, this is a guy that Ohio State has been waiting to get healthy. Like, this is a guy that you need to have healthy. And I look back to the Notre Dame game, and Notre Dame basically said, Marvin Harrison Jr. will not beat us. We're going to do everything in our power to take him away. They doubled him. They threw different kinds of looks at him. They have a really good corner, just like Michigan does, and they threw him on Marv on third downs and key downs. Emeka Egbuka had 96 yards that game, and there were a few major drops that would have elevated that number pretty significantly. So I think this is a big Emeka day. I think Ohio State's going to have to rely on him to win. He's fully healthy. He talked about being healthy and getting healthier. I think that's a big deal for Ohio State, because a lot of programs in the country, for as much as you can't cover Marvin Harrison Jr., you can do everything in your power to try and take him away. And yeah, you're never going to fully take him away, but you can at least limit him. The problem is when Emeka Egbuka is fully healthy and Emeka Egbuka can actually do what he can do, then defenses have problems. I think Michigan's secondary is going to have some problems with Emeka, so I think it's going to be a big Emeka Egbuka day. I think we're going to be looking at him after the game as one of the reasons that they win.
Notre Dame did a good job taking Marvin Harrison Jr. out of the game even before the ankle injury, but Emeka Egbuka did have a productive day. I think you're right. I think it might even have to be more so in order for them to win this game. I'm going to go on defense because as much as TreVeyon Henderson's been looking forward to this game, as much as Emeka Egbuka has been trying to get healthy for this game, this defense has waited an entire year to get back on the field with Michigan and show that it won't be victimized the same way. And I'm really intrigued by the chess match here between Jim Knowles, who came here and told us, my whole philosophy is I want to get in the head of opposing offensive coordinators and opposing quarterbacks. Well, the opposing offensive coordinator for this game, Sean Moore, has a lot on his plate, having to take over for the suspended Jim Harbaugh. And the quarterback is coming off of one of his worst games of the season. And I think there's an opportunity here. The way that this defense has been picking up and the way that Michigan may just be at a vulnerable spot, I'm going to say 3 takeaways for the Ohio State defense today, and probably at least a couple of picks, 2 of those being picks of J.J. McCarthy. I think as long as they don't let him get loose within the pass rush, as long as they don't let him get out and freelance too much and get wild on them, if they keep him in the pocket and make him make decisions, I think that plays in Ohio State's favor. And I think there's some DBs in this secondary who've been sort of waiting for this opportunity for a long time. We're going to talk a lot more about that after the game, how many of these things came to fruition on Buckeye Talk. Make sure you're listening to that as soon as we get it up after the game, and get the text 614-350-3315. Everything we see and hear and smell and whatever else inside Michigan Stadium, that's who we're going to be texting it first. That's who we're going to be giving it to first. $3.99 a month, but it's a 2-week free trial. Get it now. Get it today. No risk to sign up. Send a stop as soon as you're done with it, and you'll never be charged. You get all that free information from cleveland.com.